Hi everyone, how you doing? I seem to be taking a little bit of time to pop back up on stream these days, but don't you mind me, that's just me practicing my teleportation skills. It's good to see you all again. As usual, we will be taking care of some art today. Oh right, I didn't do my little introduction, I always do that. I'm Pabs, the Ricine VTuber and an artist. Penis explosion. That's a new way to start things off. I should consider incorporating that into the usual roster. How you doing, Harvey? Good to see you. Yeah, with that said, let's kind of figure out what we're doing in the workshop. So let's head on over. Okay. As per you, always gotta tuck myself away into my little corner every single time. I am at peace in this bottom left void space. Yeah, how's your day been, dude? Today we're going to be finishing off this design here. So far, yeah, I think with things like this especially, when you're just designing something new whole cloth, it's really important to... It has been for real, for real. Things are that tough, huh? I'm sorry to hear. Yeah. Or that's a good thing. Listen, sometimes I forget what I was talking about literally 3 seconds ago. It's a little bit of a problem, but it usually isn't too bad. So, loving the design of this Zheng. Thank you. I'm glad it's got the Harvey seal of approval. That does actually mean a lot to me. I've actually found it a little bit more fun than I expected to design giant robots, which is a good thing. It's a good thing to be able to do. Not in general, just for me specifically, I think, because I do enjoy this. Alright, so I think it's really good, usually, when you're designing something like this, to have a kind of couple days maybe, to kind of just step back and look at designs and stuff. I need to get art of the Blackbeard I've had in my head in a while. Oh man, you got a Blackbeard? That's nice. Yeah, I think out of all the different manufacturers, I like the IPS North Star ones the best. The ones from SSC Shimano or whatever the hell they're called always kind of freak me out a little bit, and Horus mechs are just kind of a nightmare. I mean this in the kindest way I can. Horus mechs are just kind of a nightmare. SSC Shimanos are literally Evas. I mean, I haven't seen Evangelion, but I do know what an Eva looks like, so, and you're pretty much spot on. They do look like that. Yeah. Right, something that I need to take care of urgently was to draw another 7 on here, because this top part is just kind of bare. Yeah. So yeah, SSC Shimano. I don't like Sherman because, like, it's just military dudes. Some of the Sherman... Wait, no, Sherman isn't it, right. Harrison Armory. All the manufacturers are based off some style of mecha. Yeah, I think, like, you know, I think... I could see that. Like, I could see the ones from SSC Shimano being based loosely on Evangelion. You know, more kind of humanoid ones. Harrison Armories are War Crimes Inc. Yeah. Like I said, I actually like quite a few of the Harrison Armory models, a few of the Harrison Armory frames, but like every single thing about the backstory is just not good. Like Jesus Christ, like even with the what do you call, like the friggin', I forgot. Which one was it? The Genghis? The Genghis? Oh, I got a little bit Genghis. I want you to get... Anyway, that one that burned down like an entire world. It's not good. Genghis is the burning one. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, some of the Horus mechs I actually like as well, but I'm not so in... Oh, that was the Genghis... Oh no, that was the Genghis Mark 1. Ah, I see. Right, this is the Genghis Mark 2. I remember. God, yeah. I did show that one, what do you call? That one kind of meme of this person who basically described the backstory of the Zheng. And if you've ever seen that one that looks like somebody made like a ransom note, have you ever seen the Genghis Mark 1? I don't think I have. I don't think I've seen a like picture of it, but I've seen the Genghis Mark 2 when I did my tier list stream. Okay. There we go. If you have one handy, I'd love to see it. Yeah. I never turned down a good mech design. Yeah. It does surprise me a little bit that it's taking me this long to design my own giant robots when I think like that conceptually they're really cool. It's very odd. But you know, sometimes you don't get around to stuff very easily. Oh my god, this look at this refrigerator-shaped motherfucker! Oh, Jesus, yeah. The Harrison Armory Genghis Mark I World Killer. That's the kind of name you slap on something when it's not going to be very pleasant to ever go up against it. Yeah, look at this thing. It looks like a brick. It looks like a big war crimey brick. Okay. Right. Something else that I was kind of dissatisfied with as well, it was this kind of like center bit here. This refrigerator-shaped motherfucker can burn so hot that it turns the sand around it into glass. Hi, Ankara-kun, how you doing? Yeah, no, like, I do remember seeing like some of the more horrific lore behind the Genghis Mark I. That, basically, it's just not good. You don't want to, like, be near it. This thing is literally called a TBK. I don't know what that is. Total... No, I don't know what a TBK stands for. Total Bart Simpson kill? Total biome killer. Oh, that's significantly worse. I not gonna lie, I think my Bart Simpson one might have actually been better. I wish it was Bart Simpson that it killed. Nothing against Bart Simpson, it's just bad that it kills biomes. Total burger killer. This thing was made to kill continents. Yeah? What, like by itself or like in herds? I mean, that's an important distinction, I think. Yeah. In herds. Okay, yeah. Good, because otherwise it would be... I don't even want to think about the implications of it, if it could do it like by itself. I mean, given enough time, I think it could do it by itself. It would just be kind of inefficient. You know, not to try to argue the logistics of a science fiction thing, but if it was by itself, I don't think it would be. It would just be like in the distance, you'd see like some like squarish shape, just kind of being followed by a smoggy red cloud. You remember that scene in Godzilla King of the Monsters where Godzilla was burning so hot that it was melting the buildings around him? I have not seen that movie. But I can easily imagine. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's just what Venus is like. Venus is not a kind place to live. It is so hot there. Apparently, like, if I recall correctly, like that's... I don't remember if it was Venus or Mercury. It might have been Mercury, where, because of the composition of the atmosphere and the particles in the atmosphere, it's basically raining molten glass sideways at any given moment. Which, if you're not familiar with how humans work, isn't super good. You would see the sun rising over the horizon only to realize that it isn't the sun, it's a mech. Yep. Fun weather. Hey Jupiter, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. We are talking about Lancer mechs and how Harrison Armory is Super War Crimes Incorporated. These dudes will literally hear the word war crime and like their ears will perk up like some kind of demented, mean dog. Okay, we need something here. Oh wait, I know exactly what to put here. I know exactly what to do. I mean... Oh! Wait, no. This can work. This can work, actually. Hang on, I've figured it out. I've figured out how to do this. Okay, this is gonna kind of flatten out like this. You know, it's gonna kind of plateau. And then on top of that, it's gonna be like a cage like this. Today I am a genius. There we go. And that also solves the issue of fastening that huge cable. I am so smart today. Yeah, I don't know what happened to me yesterday. I've mentioned that my usual kind of rhythm during the week is that like 6 days out of the week, I'll be like fine. I'll be like super dandy. I'll be fresh as a daisy, 100% ready to take on the world. My favorite mech out of all of them has to be the Blackbeard, the Nelson, or the homebrewed mech called Warden. I've never seen the Warden. What's that look like? I agree that the Blackbeard rips, though. I love the Blackbeard. Like I said, I'm a big fan of the IPSN's IPS North Star's kind of lineup in general. Yeah, the Nelson, I think it's also part of the Blackbeard, or okay, I forget if is Nelson part of the Harrison Armory. I forget which one the Nelson is. If it's the one that I think it is, then I'll also agree, but I don't really remember too well. There's like 16 of these guys running around. It's kind of hard to remember. I was actually wondering during work today, 100% during my break time and not at all during my regular working hours, as a responsible and good employee should do, what kind of mech I would pilot in Lancer. I figure I'd just have an Everest, just forever. Nelson is the dude that looks like a knight and goes super fast. Oh, now I remember the Nelson. Yeah, the Nelson looks really cool. The one that looks like a Landsknecht. Landsknecht? I'm gonna go with Landsknecht. It's just the funniest to say. I'm gonna pronounce it like you would Worcestershire sauce. the Landsknecht. It's German. German is an interesting language because if you're a foreigner and you try to speak German, no matter how poorly you butcher it, eventually you're gonna get it right. It's very forgiving of a language in that way. Yeah, isn't that the one that's basically piloted almost exclusively by like the cowboy elves or something? I remember seeing it in that one YouTube series called Trash Talk on Lancer, the one that explains basically the mechanics behind each mech, but I don't remember it too well. Oh, is that the Warden? I like it. I think that looks really cool. I like the little mask as well. It's yeah, the Warden. Yeah. Yeah, I noticed as well that a lot of the IPS North Star mechs only have one eye. Or, they have they're like two eyes, but they're stacked up in like a little column, not just like normal. Yeah, P2. I don't remember what P2 is, but yeah, this guy looks like he knows how to party. I like how the kind of tank for the flamethrower there looks almost like a what do you call it, like a cartridge loader for a the asymmetrical eye. That's how you pronounce. That's how you'd say it. Yeah. I like how the belt that feeds into the flamethrower looks a little bit like you would for a machine gun. Yeah, this looks really cool. I like it's. Is that another eye on its shield there? Oh, it's not a flamethrower. That's an autocannon. That would explain why it looks like a machine gun clip. Yeah, I also like the club design here. Playing card themes, my beloved. Okay. There we go. And kind of just very quickly just kind of tether this to certain places. I'm still figuring out like the logistics of how this is going to work. Because like it's easy enough to just leave it like that, but I need to figure out how it kind of attaches to the whole thing. So maybe by kind of pushing these a little to the... What is that, left? Yeah, that's left. I'm gonna call that left. Yeah, if I'm wrong and that's supposed to be right, I am not. That is now left. I have that power. I can change the English language as I please. What's to say that I can't make left right and right left? You know, who decided that chuffed should mean like not only pleased but also upset? Huh? I ask you this. It is the people. The people decide the power of the language. Not the other way around. Actually, no, it kind of goes both ways, because if you don't have the language to express something, you're not really able to express it, right? You know, I consistently what I hear for a lot of people who find kind of their community or, you know, kind of like their identity on the internet is like kind of an almost like a very common kind of a reaction to figuring out where they belong is, oh, there's a word for that. You know, like there's a word for this thing I felt all my life. So I think like language is very important and powerful in that regard. Alright, and somehow it still looks kind of weird. I feel like maybe it's kind of like I gotta shift this whole thing a little to the left. That is, it's my left or the mech's right, whatever. Yeah, that feels good. I don't know what I just did though. Oh, I see what happened. Yeah, God. I haven't talked about it for a while. I haven't done a bit like this in a long time. I have a business newsletter that I use to keep up with, like, you know, goings on in the business world. Because even if I'm not personally invested in any of it, it's still good to kind of like keep stuff on the radar, you know. And furthermore, it's very useful to me personally in a kind of like socio-political sense, because they are kind of, how do I put this? The newsletter very much is kind of in that kind of like, you know, guy who calls himself an entrepreneur, guy who calls himself a hustler type of mindset, you know? And while that's generally insufferable to me, you know, it's more like I can't interface with those people too well. But even though I don't have a personal taste for that kind of lifestyle, for that kind of like thinking, it is useful because it is kind of like a litmus test for that. Paps Pog. Yeah, you enjoy those emoticons? I'm glad you do. Yeah, it is kind of like a litmus test, because like if that newsletter all of a sudden started talking shit on NFTs, then you know they're fucking done for. Like that is like the nail on the coffin of NFTs. Like if the freaking business newsletter that literally calls itself like, oh yeah, we're Hustlers International or some shit, is like, you know, NFTs might not be such a good investment. That's how you know like shit is officially fucked for those guys. You know, they're a canary in the coal mine in that regard, and that's why I like reading it as well. Like they are also very witty. It's good content. And today it happened one of those instances where like it acted kind of like a canary in the coal mines, and the only interfacing I have with those people is putting them in a tub full of ice after stealing their kidneys. Ironically enough, that's its own kind of hustle. I feel like they would respect that. In any case, yeah, everything is eventually subsumed by capital, whatever. Who gives a fuck? Anyway, today I had like one of those moments where I like noticed like, oh yeah, things are definitely going awry, because they did a quick little report on the difference between like the median, like for multi-billion-dollar corporations. They did an analysis where they compared the median employee salary to the salary of the organization's CEO. You can already kind of see where I'm going with this. And it kind of summarized the whole thing by saying that essentially nowadays it would take, on average, an average worker to 186 years to make what their boss makes in 1 year. If that seems absurd to you, then good, you have common sense. I also don't understand it too well. But like the fact that this newsletter, this business-oriented newsletter, was reporting on this and genuinely seeing it like a problem was kind of like a bit like a. It's one of those moments where you're like, oh, They're catching on, huh? Like, you know, it's like when a study comes out, kind of scientifically verifying something that everybody's known for a long time. Like, it's not about like them finally admitting it. It's just like, well, no, it is actually about them finally admitting it. Like, that's the thing. Because everybody, like, a lot of people have known, it's been known that wages have been tremendously unfair for a long, long time now. But it's this newsletter, which is geared towards, like, these entrepreneurial CEOs and whatnot, that's saying it. And that's just very, very telling. I mean, naturally, they tried to backpedal at the last minute and went like, "Oh, but our glorious corporate overlords also can't usually redeem. Those are usually based on the company's performance, and they can't even redeem those for like years and years anyway. Haha! Don't cut our funding." You know, they definitely backpedaled at the last second, but you know, that can't be helped sometimes. Everybody's got to eat. Oh yeah, I forgot that I needed to attach a rocket booster to the top of this thing. But yeah, it's kind of like one of those moments, you know, like where like they were so close to getting it. They are like so close to saying the quiet part out loud. Like in the first half, they were like, it was like I half expected them to like do an eyebrow raising emoji, like, you know, comrade ? But like. I don't know how to put it. It's like it is one of those complicated things, I think. Yeah. Oh yeah. Apparently, speaking of like things that take way too much money, apparently it's the it's the anniversary of that huge clock tower in England, Big Ben. Yeah. Apparently today was the day it was first activated. You know, I have my own personal distaste for for Britain as a whole that I'm not going to get into. Mainly the weather, the food, the colonialism. But Big Ben is one of those things that I've always kind of liked about it. You know, it's a clock tower. It's huge. It tells the time. It really doesn't get any better than that. It's as simple as that. You know, that reminds me. I remember that there was a Charlie Chaplin movie, a very famous, maybe not a Charlie Chaplin movie, a very famous kind of a silent film era movie about a dude who was kind of like goofing off inside of a clock tower, I believe. I don't remember which one that is, but I do remember that it was. I mean, obviously he didn't actually go inside of the clock tower. You know, I think they were just using it as a set piece. But I do wonder if that was meant to be like an homage to Big Ben. I feel like a lot of people have parodied it, but for the life of me, I could not tell you where or who. I feel like it's just one of those like kind of very classic images. You know, kind of like the moon getting its eye shot out in the Fantastic Journey. Yeah, I've always thought that was very interesting imagery, you know, from the Fantastic Journey. Okay, and then kind of like this. I need to make rice tonight. I should remember to do that. Rolling around in Big Ben like Charlie Chaplin on the gears in that one thing. Exactly, that's the one. Okay, so it was Charlie Chaplin. Okay, good. That means I'm not going nuts. Yeah, no, that would be so much fun, though. I feel like they should do guided tours inside of clock towers. They probably do. I just haven't had the opportunity to be in one. I want to see the insides of the tower. I want to see what makes it tick. Pun 100% intended. Okay, then kind of like here as well. I missed a spot there. Yeah, thankfully this arm is a lot less complicated than the other one. But yeah, messing around in what do you call like at the same time, I have to wonder, right? Was that movie back then kind of in poor taste, or was it just kind of gallows humor? Because that was like, you know, during the silent film era, we were still like getting like, it was like right on the tail end of the period where dudes who own factories could literally tell you to climb inside a machine and literally be turned into mulch just so it could spin a little bit faster, you know? Like that was like the tail end of like the pre-union industrial era. So a lot of shit was still really dangerous to be around because like nobody cared and nobody put up enough money for the people who were injured. So they eventually just died, and hey, that's one less lawsuit to deal with, right? My god, what a callous time. In any case, I do wonder if that was like gallows humor or if it was just kind of in poor taste. It could easily be both. Like you know, one man's gallows humor is another man's kind of what do you call horrific life experience. That might not be the right word. But it is true that, like, you know, what one person might find cathartic, other people might not really, might find just straight up mean. Yeah, that happens a lot. Yeah, maybe it's like, maybe it's haha relatable. My boss is terrible. He makes me climb inside the chimney directly, and he doesn't, and sometimes he even lights a fire on purpose down there. I shouldn't laugh at that. That's awful. Yeah. God, you really could just do whatever the hell you wanted back in the 1800s. So I know there's this one dude. I forgot his name, but I didn't forget his nickname, which was the Prince of Swindlers. Now, I've talked about a couple of con men before. Victor Lustig in particular, I find that guy hilarious because he tried to sell the Eiffel Tower like twice. Charlie Chaplin sounded like a guy of the people back then. That's true. That's true. I don't imagine that Charlie Chaplin... Like, I do feel like Charlie Chaplin's humor mostly came from like the working man, the common folk. So that's true. I feel like maybe it was kind of on the pulse for that. Yeah, I think maybe it was kind of like a hashtag relatable Charlie Chaplin moment. I remember that part of the reason that sad clowns became really popular was because of one dude in particular. I forget his name. But his persona as a clown was basically to be like this hobo. Yeah, friggin', I don't remember his name. I really don't. I don't even remember the name he had as a performer, as a clown. But his whole bit was that he was just like a hobo. His clown was based around the hobos of the era, and people found that really relatable and funny. You know, he never smiled. He always looked really dour in his makeup, and people related to that, and that was a huge hit. So yeah, Harvey might be on the money here. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, it's always kind of like your own personal tolerance for like quote unquote gallows humor, right? Me, I literally disguise every complaint I have ever had as a joke because that makes it easier to deal with. I find that that's like a good way to like, yeah, it's a good way to express your feelings without like, you know, kind of being a Debbie Downer. That's the kind of like life hack that I've found that works for me. Yeah. Okay, this is gonna kind of go like this, and then like this. There we go. Yeah. Oh, speaking of anniversaries, apparently I think it was yesterday or something. We have it was like the anniversary of not like a particular anniversary. It was like the birthday of when the. Okay, here's a fun question: how many of you know about Centralia, Pennsylvania? The town of Centralia. Very interesting. One of the few places in the world that could be called a portal to hell. Centralia was a mining town back in the day, a big mining town. One day, the coal ran out. Yeah, they mined coal, right? So life was pretty good for a while, as it usually is in mining towns. Oh, right, I was also going to talk about the Prince of Swindlers, but I'll get to that guy later. If I don't forget. We'll see. Anyway, Centralia. Ex-coal mine town. Or actually, maybe it was like a coal mine town still when this happened. Long story short, some doofus set off a lighter or a match in the coal mine. Bad idea, first of all. Second of all, that match kind of caught one of the ore veins, like one of the coal veins, on fire. Really bad, actually. Like, that's really bad. And and like, you know, it's bad, but, you know, it's not the end of the world, usually. You know, the coal burns for a little while, but eventually the vein kind of just runs out a little bit, right? It has to end at some point. Except it didn't. The fire underneath Centralia is still burning to this day. It is one of the hottest places in the US. It is literally it is almost literally uninhabitable. I think there's like still like 5, 6 people there who just kind of live there. I think because they, you know, it's hard to I can't imagine the reason they live there. It must be extremely personal, or they're just doing the world's funniest bit that I'm just not in on. You think? Oh, you know that one? Yeah, I know there's something similar happened in Turkmenistan with a gas pit. Yeah, in this case, they didn't try to mine the gas or anything. They just wanted the gas pit gone. So, you know, they figured, hey, you know, the fastest way to get gas gone is to just light it on fire. Let's rip and pitter paddle, let's get at her. They toss a match in there. It's still burning. I remember seeing like like, I think on Tumblr it was, that somebody shared a video of, oh yeah, the Gates of Hell. Yeah, 100% the Gates of Hell. Yeah, like everybody knows that one though. I feel like a lot of people know the Turkmenistan Gates of... Yeah, there's a portal to hell in Turkmenistan. It's no big deal. It's okay. Literally, it is so fine. It's so fine you have no idea. I was low-key kind of obsessed with Turkmenistan for a little while because of that. I remember I was writing a story where... I don't actually remember why I chose Turkmenistan of all places. I think it was explicitly because of the mouth to hell. But I ended up learning actually quite a bit about like Turkmenistan like stuff that happens in Turkmenistan. Like for example, like they have like this spread called pekmez, which is apparently quite sweet. Very unique flavor apparently. Or for example, Turkish ice cream. Apparently they have that there as well, and it's very famous. Have you ever seen that video of like a dude who will like have an ice cream and a cone, and like he'll just dick around with you for a few minutes before finally giving it to you? Yeah, that's Turkish ice cream. That's because it's made with what do you call it? Xanthan gum, maybe? I don't remember which ingredient gave it its special properties, but basically it's very difficult to melt, and furthermore, it is very malleable almost. It's got a very different texture to ice cream made from, you know, just plain old dairy milk. But yeah, if you've ever seen like a video of like some dude just like messing with a tourist by just like, oh hey, here's your ice cream. Like they give you the ice cream cone on a, you know, they'll scoop out the ice cream, they'll put the cone on it, and they will flip travel vlog where somebody tries to cook a handful of meals, comparing perpetual underground fires as sources of heat. Okay, guys, I think I have to say that the Gates of Hell pizza is better. God, some dude would do that, wouldn't they? Like, like, hey, it's your boy. Like, you just hear like with the like they like. Hang on, I gotta leave this in the oven, pun intended, for a couple seconds because I think this might be a really good bit. Hey, YouTube, it's your boy, Ground Cooker number 69420, back at it again with another video. Today we are going to be baking cookies on the surface of the Centralia. Now, I've had a lot of hot surfaces on this channel before, but Centralia is one of the hottest on the planet. This place is crazy, dude. But you know what's even crazier? With code hashtag FryOnTheGround420, you too can get 1 month free subscription to Audible. In retrospect, it probably would have been funnier if I had done HelloFresh as a sponsor. These mad tasty meals are cooked on the fires of Centralia, the very grounds themselves shaking with anger at the folly of man. But you know where it'd be even tastier? Right in the convenience of your own home. With HelloFresh, you can... Okay, no, I'm not doing that. I'm done. But yeah, I bet you could make some scratch with that if it wasn't for the fact that it's kind of inhumane. Opening the gate of hell to make a s'more. God, yeah, just some dude who like sacrifices a lamb and like is immediately like okay, listen, homeboys from the great beyond, I need you to fry me up some like 80 to 90 degree fire. Like I need this to be like pretty sizzling hot. Oh, are you going to like sacrifice somebody to the dark ones? No, I'm just having a cookout with my buddies, and you know they've made fun of me for having a gas-fired grill in the past. I gotta show them up somehow, but you know I don't like using coal. It's expensive. It leaves smoke everywhere. It's not good. Do some of that clay encased baking. That would work as well. I feel like that would actually work the best out of any method. Yeah. Yeah, because like then you could like kind of throw it down there directly, you know. It'd be kind of easy, to be perfectly honest, to just throw a thing of clay down there and then just fish it back out with like wire or like a fishing pole. Why not? Yeah, I mean, how would you cook? Because like, first of all, I don't think they'd let you near it. You know, I think like I did see like a picture of the Turkmenistan president kind of doing donuts around the gates of hell, but I think that it might have either been photoshopped or a fever dream. Crack open some well cooked pork. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you know, no. Just get some tin foil. Like, you know, it's part of the fun. Exactly. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, no, just sear it up on a cast iron. You know how it goes. You know, Jamie Oliver, the guy that cooks all the time, and who I personally know, 100% the truth. Oh, hydrate, good call. Yeah, no, I remember that in the Jamie Oliver cookbook, he did say that the best steak he's ever eaten was at a crossroads near the gates of hell in Turkmenistan, and the dude just kind of wrapped it. You know, he did the classic thing. You know, he seasoned it well. He gave it a nice sear on some on some well seasoned cast iron, and then he wrapped it in tinfoil and threw it into the gates of hell for a half an hour, and the rest is history. Posture check. Right. Nice and firm. Calling your posture firm is incorrect, right? I think like it's supposed to be the opposite of that. Well, no. It's supposed to be like... It's one of those things where it's like you have to be relaxed but tense at the same time. You know, like you kind of like have to... Like keeping your posture straight does take some muscle work from your back. It's not the easiest thing in the world, but you're also not supposed to have it like too tight. Or else you're also doing it wrong. It's strange. It's a very strange kind of balance that you have to strike. Speaking of striking a balance, I should probably draw this guy's other leg, huh? Maybe I should, like, give it a mohawk or something? No. I mean, I do feel like the head is missing something, though. I don't know, like, the thing is, right, the pilot is supposed to have, like, really spiky hair for this one. So it feels weird to just have the top of the mech be like a flat cap like this. But I mean, I could make it like a cowboy hat. No, that looks uncomfortably like a fedora. A shark head? A curved horn? Huh. A shark head might be interesting. Curved horn. Maybe like a hood ornament? Actually, that doesn't look too bad. Hang on. You could also make it almost like a commissar's cap, couldn't you? Oi, mister, you me Lancer pilot. Toss us a quid, I only have a weak computer system. No, that's just Mario now. I do have my fun. Okay. No, but seriously. What should I put on here? I feel like a bird of some kind. A curved horn like a crescent bending over the head. Oh, like this almost? Oh, actually, that might actually be really interesting because I feel like... Okay, so there's a couple of ways we can do this. Number one, I'm gonna call the samurai look because it does remind me a little bit of like those like decorations that samurai helmets have. Okay, so that's option A. Option B, on the other hand, would be to have it almost like a mohawk, like this. That looks kind of bad, but we'll leave it in as an option. It's important to never throw anything away when you're, like, freestyle brainstorming. Like, actually, no, wait, I could just put that on top of here. Huh. Pompadour? Oh, yeah. Yeah, baby. This is what it's about. Yeah, you don't need to have strong tech attack resistance when you've got a drill type pompadour. Somehow that looks even more like a newsy hat that looks even more like a newsy hat than the actual newsy hat that I gave it. Actually, I think I'm gonna stick with this thing. Big hat. Mechs with hats, I think. Yeah, Mechs with Hats is my favorite band. They did that song Safety Dance. Yeah, no, Harvey big brain for this one. Yeah, I actually do like how this looks, and it ties into the crescent moon motif kind of sigil overload that I have going on. Yeah, nice one, Harvey. Okay. Then, okay. From there, the other leg, right. Before I forget. Okay. That's kind of gonna go like this. Okay. Come on, bud. There we go. Good enough. No, it isn't. Alright. Time to make this follow the curve of my hand. Drastic times call for drastic measures. Actually, no, this should be my first measure. And actually... Okay. No, wait, hang on. Okay, so it'd be kind of like around here. The other part of the plate that you see right here would drop down. So that's not really a thing. That's not something I need to worry about. God. Reading Achewood when I was like 18, 16 was one of the worst things that could have happened to the language centers of my brain. because like nowadays, like I will like that phrase "today I am a genius." I distinctly remember reading it in a strip from Achewood, and it has not left my vocabulary since. And I say it every other day, like every single time I think of something clever, I'm like, "Today I am a genius." I say that constantly. And that's a good thing. That's by no means a bad thing. It's like, you know, you gotta gas yourself up. Who will bat for you if not yourself? I mean, ideally your friends, but like, when the chips are down, you are going to have to. Your self-esteem is provided by yourself. Hence the name, self-esteem. So you know, you gotta gas yourself up whenever you can. So yeah, call yourself a genius more often. It takes a lot of effort to survive these days. Got it. No, hang on. That's going to create a tangent. I feel like I've almost got it. Almost there. There we go. Oh yeah. The other day... Actually, no, this didn't happen the other day. It happened literally yesterday, which is why I still remember it. Disclaimer: I've never seen the full anime of Full Metal Alchemist. I've never had the Full Metal Alchemist experience, if you will. And you know, for better and for worse, that means that someday I will get to experience Full Metal Alchemist almost completely unblemished. But on the other hand, that also does mean that like when somebody makes a reference to Full Metal Alchemist, it takes me a hot second to kind of piece it together from context clues. The good news is that like I am kind of acquainted with the meme, so like while I'm not 100% spoiled, I do like have enough knowledge to keep up when somebody like talks about Full Metal Alchemist. Anyway, they were explaining to me the plot of Full Metal Alchemist a little bit. Not Full Metal Alchemist the manga, Full Metal Alchemist the original, I think it was 2003 anime. I don't remember when that first one came out, but it was a long time ago now. So, you know, I actually did watch a couple episodes of the original anime series. Actually, no, I watched the first episode and then the weird bird thing in it. 2003? Yeah, okay, good. Okay, cool, my memory is not failing me today. That's definitely a win in my book. So yeah, the 2003 one. If you've never seen that one, and this isn't really a spoiler because it's something that happens in the first episode, they explore themes of religious horror with what's basically a chimera that is... Yeah, not today, dementia. Yeah, who says you need to be old to start forgetting shit all the time? I forget shit every single day. What am I doing in front of this computer? Who are these people on the screen? No. I do have issues remembering things, but it's almost never bad enough to be like, okay, yeah, no, I have like, it interferes with my daily life. That being said, I do have an easier time recalling things if I've read them or if I have easier time recalling things if I have like read them. I don't know why, but that's just how it works. I have pretty good visual recall in that like I can remember what stuff looks like. But if you like try to explain things to me with like a video, I will not understand it nearly as quickly as if I had done it with, say, a book explaining the same thing. It's my learning style. That doesn't make it's not universal, but it is just kind of how I operate, how this machine functions. Oh right, I was talking about something else, and I still need to get back to that guy, the Prince of Swindlers, because his shit is also hilarious. Right, the 2003 one. Anyway. From what I understand, and from what he explained it, basically the 2003 anime did that thing where it catches up to the kind of main plot of the manga way before the manga's finished. Which is good, because that means that the manga is like successful enough to have like a long-running, like a pretty successful anime series. I mean, a manga has to be successful to have an anime in the first place. For some reason, some of the better manga don't have second seasons of anime. Looking at you, Monthly Girls Nosaki-kun. But generally speaking, if your manga is doing well, you get an anime. That's just how it is. And that's a great thing, because, you know, as a creator, if you're not specialized in animating, seeing your things brought to life can be really exciting. You know, it's a different medium, it's something that you're not familiar with, and it's always really cool to see. However, there can be a problem when the anime is so popular that it just keeps getting greenlit for new seasons, and eventually it kind of outpaces the original content of the manga. In which case, the anime producers have two choices. Either one, they keep the money printing machine operating and just write the damn ending themselves, which is objectively the funnier choice, or they can, you know, cool it a little bit and wait for the manga to kind of release some new chapters before they start a new season. I think this has actually used to happen more often. I know for My Hero Academia, it's actually been very good about that, in that it only produces anime seasons when it has more ground to cover in the manga. I remember that's one of the reasons that the anime for it hasn't had like pacing or filler issues. You know, that Naruto, One Piece, those like really long running ones are great examples of where this shit can happen, because I remember like watching I actually did try to watch One Piece a while back, like, and by a while back I mean when I was 9. This was back when we still had episodes and chapters merely in the triple digits. Now we're on, I think like right now they're on like chapter 1030 something. I don't remember. Anyway, yeah, it happened with One Piece, and what ended up happening is that in between a lot of the more kind of important arcs, I remember I was like in an arc where they basically had to get like this princess home. Like for some reason they kind of got embroiled in like this political intrigue with like a mercenary company and shit, and like it was like things were happening really fast, and you know, in the middle of that they took a couple episodes, at least 1 or 3 episodes, I think it was like 3 episodes, to explore the backstory of this old dude they found on an island who basically 1015 One Piece chapters, 1014 episodes of the anime, 1-to-1 almost. Jesus Christ. That's impressive. Also, thank you, Jupiter, for the stats. Coming in clutch as always. And you'd need typically at least 2 chapters to make 1 episode. Right. So yeah, you can see how there's like logistical stuff going on. And that's especially true of like I've actually read a couple of the more recent chapters. Like, I did get curious, you know? Hasn't watched One Piece? No, I actually have read a bit of the manga and watched the anime. Blame it on, like, the thing is, right? When you are a young child without much access to the internet and you want to watch anime, your kind of only option is to catch it on televised broadcast. And when I was young, they actually did broadcast One Piece when I was a kid, which is a welcome break from like the 80s and 90s animes that they aired usually, which was friggin' Inuyasha. I actually did manage to watch like a couple of episodes of Inuyasha as a child, very poorly dubbed in Spanish. Yeah, I am actually, that is actually really funny. Captain Tsubasa as well. Lots of old anime. But yeah, there was usually, up until like the mid 2000s, there used to be a pretty big time lag in like the kind of media that the Latin America got broadcasted compared to what do you call North America. So like like I said, we were still on Inuyasha when I think it was it must have been like 2002 ish, around that era. Probably more than that, 2003, 2005, around there. That's like when we got the first episode of One Piece, and I think it started being aired in the US or like in Japan. One Piece episode 1. Hang on. Yeah, in October 1999, One Piece premiered in Japan. I mean, obviously it would take a little bit of time to, dub it in English, and then even more time to dub it in Spanish after it proved unpopular overseas. You can see how that could result in a pretty decent time lag. So we didn't get the first episode of One Piece until like 2006, 2005. But yeah, as a kid, because it was like so shiny and new, and like One Piece's design is really good. Like it is like an extremely well designed show. For the most part, you know, with a little asterisk there for a couple of things. But, you know, for the most part, the character designs are appealing. It looks really fun. It's got a lot of stuff that like would capture the hearts of young boys everywhere. So I naturally grew obsessed with it. And once I had access to 100% legitimate and legal means of watching anime at my disposal, I ended up watching quite a few episodes of One Piece. And you need to understand, this was when I was still like decently young, so I didn't know what the hell filler chapters were, or like filler episodes were. So I ended up watching like a ton of One Piece, and I do think like I crapped out like near the like just about at the time they got to Skypiea. If you remember that. I think after that I just started skipping episodes because I was like, God, nothing's happening. And I just like started being an impatient little shit and just skipping episodes because it just was not working out. Yeah, that's kind of when I fell off the wagon, so to speak. Anyway, I do remember hanging on a bit longer trying to read the manga, though. I do remember owning quite a few volumes of the manga. Those I did acquire 100% legitimately. I forgot what I was talking about. Yeah, no, it's gone. The thought process is just completely not there anymore. Alright. Well, let's try to kickstart a miracle and see if we can't hop onto another topic. Right, the Prince of Swindlers. Right. 102 tankobon volumes. Sheesh. It's a lot of murder trees you got. You know, like, you have to realize, right? I don't think One Piece has ever technically gone out of print. It's one of those things, right? Like, you know, it's like Les Miserables or like, I don't know. Maybe Les Miserables has gone out of print at some point. No, it definitely hasn't. Or Frankenstein. It's just never gone out of print ever. So like, once you reach that point, it's not about like, oh yeah, you know, like 1 million. Les Mis the brick, baby. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you want a touching play based around the penal system and what true justice is? Well, I hope you're ready to lift 5 kilograms of sheer French Inouï, baby. Yeah, you know that one meme of like the dude who has a gigantic head and like there's a guy right next to him who's really buff and he's like, "Where do you work out?" And the guy with the huge head is like, "At the library." It's kind of like that meme, except the guy with the huge head also has huge abs because all he reads is Les Miserables, and the physical effort of having to pick up the book every single day has just made him absolutely ripped. I have a fondness in my heart for absurdly long books. Not that I'd read them, you know. I don't know if I have that kind of attention span. I might, you know, if the right one comes along, maybe. Yeah, no, that's a lie. I haven't read any like super long books, I don't think. I mean, I can read a lot, but like not like in one of like one continuous thing, if that makes sense. Like, I can blaze through like 1,000 chapters of like a web novel in a matter of weeks, and that's definitely got a lot more words than a few dozen books put together. Yeah, web novels are actually pretty decent these days. Actually, no, they've always been pretty good, but like it's only recently that I've found out like a good place to find some. Yeah. Royal Road, if anybody's interested, has some pretty decent web novels. Come to the dark side, read Les Mis, but maybe you don't, but you could? I mean, I should definitely try to work out my, attention span abs. I could have just said attention span, but saying attention span abs is funnier. I should definitely work out my attention span a little bit. You know, maybe that'd help with the memory problems. I have also been meaning to read Umineko. I think I'm going to do that on my own time, though, not on stream, because apparently it takes like 13 hours. Like, it takes quite a bit of time to read through Umineko. First of all, I don't think my vocal chops are quite there yet. You need to understand, I have an easy time talking on stream, but that does not translate to talking much in public or like in real life. Like, you need to understand, for the first friggin' 16 years of my life, I barely ever said a word. I mean, I was talkative enough with my family if they asked, but like, in like generally speaking, I was kind of like a very quiet person. Yeah, but you suckers miss those days, don't you? Now you get the unfiltered. Now you get the good unfiltered shit. Yeah, now you get me saying stuff like Kim Kitsurage Gap Moe. No, I think I said Harry Dubois Gap Moe. Close enough, honestly. Anyway, am I done? I think I might be done. Hang on. Yeah, I think I'm done. What's the largest book you've read, if you can recall? Good question. Largest book I've ever read. Largest book I've ever read. Probably Ender's Game. I read Ender's Game for some reason when I was like 13. Definitely not a good idea for my mental health, but yeah, Ender's Game is a novel. I don't have any comment to make on it. I have no idea. It's been so long since I've read it, but I do remember it distinctly being pretty fucked up even as I read it, and even with my underdeveloped like frontal cortex, I could be like, oh, this author has some fucking issues. You know, like, I don't know how to put it. Like, no, like happy people who are normal don't make books about children becoming mass murderers or war criminals. I mean, I suppose there could be outliers, but broadly speaking, you know, to make a sweeping generalization, people who write books about children becoming war criminals aren't super. I mean, on the other hand, Animorphs, right? I think Animorphs has some child war criminals, and I've heard that's got some really good stuff in it. So, you know, maybe it's just I haven't read enough books where children become war criminals. Maybe it's like an outlier kind of thing. That's what was wrong with him? That makes sense. Yeah. I also read like the Wikipedia summaries of some of the later books, and I'm like, yeah, okay. I have no questions about this whatsoever. And like in between parentheses, he had many questions, but none that he felt he should ask. I don't have questions for the author. I have questions for his therapist, if he has one. You know, like I don't want to study him in a literary sense. I kind of want to study him in a medical sense, in a psychological sense. In any case, yeah, don't read that book at your own peril, because it does have some fucked up stuff, more so in retrospect. Again, the thing is, right, like I said, back when I was 13, my frontal cortex was not developed at all. But and like it's only now in retrospect that I remember, oh yeah, he did basically murder a child in the showers. Like this kid was 100% supposed to be painted red as a sociopath. And not good stuff. Oh right, the leg joint. I almost forgot. Gotta have the leg joint. Literally, you probably this mech would not function at all without a leg joint. All right, anything else that I gotta kind of add to it? Floating legs. Yeah. SSC Shimano has finally managed to develop a. Yeah, hang on. New from SSC Shimano. Have you ever wanted to pilot Rayman? Well, now you can. Using paracausal bullshit and some stuff that we definitely shouldn't have gotten into, SSC Shimano has now developed a mech that has no attached limbs. I'm such a dumbass. That already is a Horus mech. I think that is 100% already a Horus mech. I think that it was the Hydra. The Hydra already has that feature. Like, I think the Hydra is literally made up... Yeah, the Hydra is that one that's made up of a bunch of little guys kind of put together. So it makes sense that it's like... Yeah, no, the Hydra is the one, I think. 90% sure. Yeah, it would be Horus, wouldn't it? Yeah. If you guys have ever read, or like been into the SCP Foundation, Horus actually reminds me a lot of the kind of in-universe group of the SCP, Are We Cool Yet? Who, if you are not really like up to date with SCP universe lore, they are basically what could be described as art terrorists, who basically make anomalous objects and creatures basically for kicks, but also as kind of like statement pieces for art. I think there was a YouTube video you can watch on them that's actually really cool, really interesting, that I actually quite greatly enjoyed when I first saw it. Yeah, they're a little bit like that as well, I think, Horus. You know, they've got kind of like that aspect of, oh, you never know that if it's like just a one group, you know, Horus is like this very disjointed, very kind of convoluted group that has kind of a very nebulous hierarchy within it. Might not even have an actual hierarchy, it just has different operating cells with a unified kind of purpose. It's kind of that kind of, it's got that vibe to it. Also, I gotta head out just a little. I gotta head out for like 30 seconds. I'll be right back. All right, here we go. I thought I have a couple of sketchbooks lying around the house as kind of like a general thing to do. It's mainly because sometimes I start one, and I think I lose one, and then I start a new one, or I think like, okay, maybe I'll devote this one to this one specific thing. It all kind of falls apart eventually, but I'm pretty decent at keeping track of them usually. Anyway, I did actually sketch a design for my OC as a pilot, which I'm gonna do like right over here. I might do this on a different layer actually, before I get to coloring this guy. Okay. Should I just do this freehand? I think I'll do this freehand. Let's do this freehand. Alright. Yeah, it's been a while since I did some freehand drawing. I think the last time was when I did that piece for finishing Disco Elysium. It's fun. I should do it more often. It's a skill it's a skill that I have that I don't really use so much on stream because I just like having the polish of the 3D models. But if it's just something like this, then it should be fine. There we go. Yeah. Okay, and I've drawn Roland. This guy's name is Roland, by the way. He also goes by Charlie sometimes, but that's like his fake name, but he's called Roland. And I've drawn him so many gosh dang times over the years that I can like I think I might actually be able to do it without looking now. That's how it is when like you have one OC who you've had for like years and years and years, right? Like, no matter how many times I redesign him, like two things have stayed consistent. One, he has yellow eyes, and two, he has like this particular shape of hair. Like, I'm gonna draw this closing my eyes. You can't see that on my model, but I'm gonna draw this closing my eyes. Yeah, that's basically the shape of the hair, and that was with my eyes closed. I don't know. You know, some people keep their like stuffed toys from when they were a kid. Some people like, you know, they have one blanket that they've never been able to let go of. This guy's kind of like that for me. He's like, he is my comfort guy. When times are the darkest, when all hope seems lost, I'll just be able to draw him. I know that no matter what happens, I'll be able to draw this guy, and that is comforting in a way that's not easily put into words. You know, even if I never pick up my pen again, I know that like if I someday decide to draw again, I'll be able to draw him no problem. Okay, I kind of want it like. Usually he looks a little bit like a what do you call? He looks like a cross between a cowboy and a biker. But I actually wanted to lean a little bit more into kind of a World War I pilot vibe with this thing. Not too much, obviously it's still going to be very futuristic, but I meant like stuff like, for example, having like an oxygen mask right here. Or like some kind of like... I don't know, why did pilots wear those? I imagine it's got the same purpose as like those masks that drop down when an airplane loses pressure fast. You know, they have like some kind of gas, which I imagine is oxygen. You know, check my sources on that, but yeah, check a source for that, but I am 90% sure it's oxygen. Okay. Yeah, that's just kind of hung around his neck like this. It's one of those telescopic thingies that he can just kind of put on at any time. Yeah, it's for oxygen? Okay, cool. Hot damn, that's one more thing I know about the world. Although, I've been on a plane enough times that you'd figure I'd know what it's used for, but in my defense, I've never had to use one before either. Yeah. I know that in like sports movies, if they want to show that somebody's like doing like really high-tech training, they'll show them like running on a treadmill with like all those like little like electrical nipple looking things stuck to their bodies, and like they'll be wearing one of these. I imagine it's because like if they have a steady intake of oxygen, they can, you know, train for longer than if they were just breathing through their gosh dang nose like God intended. Okay. This is honestly also a very kind of weird sweater because it's World War I pilots used to have this kind of fleece padding on the inside of their jackets because, you know, they didn't have like heating units that fit inside of airplanes back in the day. So they basically were just up there in the freezing cold temperatures of like this of the atmosphere, with basically just a jacket and a desire to murderize some Nazis on there. You know, which is really all you need sometimes, but in particular, it's not much to go off of. But I just like gave him a little bit of that fleece around the like top of his turtleneck and decided to call it a day. Because honestly, what like I don't know, maybe it depends on your mech in particular, but I imagine most of them have some degree of like creature comforts, right? Like they have to have like a little bit of like internal heating so that it's comfy in there. I know there's like specialty modules that you can install, like EVA modules, so that you can breathe in space, but you know, whatever. Oh god, that reminds me that in the Trash Talk on Lancer video that I was talking about, one of the strategies that the guy came up with to use the Zheng in space, because the Zheng is 100% meant for punching, but it's also very good for like manipulating the terrain around it, because like it literally cracks the earth with the force of its blows. Which is pretty cool, but isn't exactly useful in space, where literally one of the defining characteristics of it is that there is no terrain. It's a bit of a complicated situation, see. In any case, once you get into space, like one of the kind of strategies that they put forward was that you should basically take with you another mech. I think this one was also from Horus, not from IPSN North Star. I forget what it's called as well. I think it's like the Salamander or something. The gist of it is that it's a repurposed foundry robot, which basically means that it can spit out molten metal for funsies. What's smelling? Oh, I believe it's when you like lean in real close to like cheese or some unidentified object on the ground, and then you take a deep whiff and you go like, and I believe that's smelling. This has been a primer to living on Earth by Pabs. I am not an alien. I just figured I should make one of those, because Lord knows it's hard enough to live without having to figure out everything yourself. How you doing, Leo? Kinda weird. I mean, if you think about it, all 5 of our senses are super weird. hearing, right? That's just like sound bouncing inside of little snails inside of our heads, and somehow we interpret that as information with our crazy ass brains. Sight is just watching light waves bounce off of things, and somehow that works for giving us information about our environment. Touch is literal electrical impulses just kind of hitting us. Wait, hang on. Soft red milk? Who the fuck are you? You're not Leof, my friend Leof. You're an imposter. I love how you see nothing wrong. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I'm good at like noticing like stuff moving, but I'm not so good at smaller details. Oh, wait, no. It took me a minute. Yeah, no, it did take me a minute. Like, I was like, huh, first time chat from viewer from my friend Leof. Well, that can't be right. And then I saw your username. Oh, hang on. It was definitely one of those moments. I got there eventually, though. You know, the chances of losing in a contest, in a battle of wits to a bag of rice is low, but it's never zero. I'm on my other phone and I forgot my password for me Twitch, so you just made a whole ass new account? That's dedication. I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, we're making a... I don't think Twitch will let me be soft breast milk. I mean, have you tried, is my question to you. I mean, you gotta risk it for the biscuit sometimes. What's the worst they can do? Ban you? Oh, you have tried? Okay, well, thank you for taking one for the team in that case. I'm too scared. Oh. Yeah, that's fair. Okay, so kind of like this. This is how armor works, I think. Okay. Yeah, this guy's quite pretty broad-shouldered, so I'm not gonna like scrimp on the musculature on him. I feel like most Zheng pilots will either be like really like wuxia protagonist-looking dudes who are just like rail thin, but like are still pretty like slim but muscular, you know, kind of like toned, or they just look like they are just your average shit brick house. I mean, that has to be kind of like the dichotomy in universe, right? Like, do you like figure that like in the Lancer universe, the kind of frame that you pilot, the mech that you choose to pilot, is also kind of used, kind of almost like your astrology sign. I mean, there has to be a couple of U quizzes floating around out there that have that as their kind of focal point. Okay, if I made his head that much smaller, then I gotta also kind of make this much smaller also. Okay, no, hang on. I think the best thing to do would be to finish drawing the torso and then focus on like what I can do. Okay. Yeah, the armor that I'm making right here is loosely based off of motorcycle armor as well, so that I am still retaining some of those aspects to him. Okay. But yeah, Leo, go ahead and get back to us if you figure out whether or not they let you be soft breast milk. I mean, I did remember seeing like some dude with a username like MILF something or other, like followed by a bunch of numbers. They 100%. No, I think their name was just straight up MILF lover, but they were like a real ass person. They weren't like a bot. They were just like a normal human being. They were 100% a person. So you have to wonder like what exactly you can get away with in terms of usernames. Okay. Here we go. Yeah, I mean, like, what's the Twitch staff's tolerance point for bullshit when it comes to stupid names? Somebody has to know the answer, and I need to learn from them like some kind of wise mountain hermit. Okay, no, hang on. Come on, man, this is 3/4 perspective. This is your bread and butter. You should not be having this much of a difficult time with it. Thank you. Okay, there we go. Okay. Holy shit. You madman, you actually did it. I feel like I'm watching the moon landing. This is fantastic. Hi, Twitch user Soft Breast Milk. How you doing? It's good to see you. Welcome to the channel. How long you figure you got it, like, in terms of hours and minutes, until some moderator sees your name and is like, hey, that's not legal. I hope it's infinite number of minutes and seconds, because honestly, this username, I feel like you could ransom this username. I walked into the stream boobily, as you should. Yeah, I don't advertise it publicly, but your pecs do grow by approximately 3 nanometers whenever you enter one of my streams. Musculature or proper boob, your choice, but they do grow. Huh. You ever, like, say something and then immediately realize that could accidentally be somebody's fetish? I regret the decisions and actions that led me to this moment. Okay, so then this is gonna kind of go like this, and like, yeah, that aside, and putting that immediately to one side. We're changing topics, like, right now. Oh yeah. Yeah, that was kind of weird. Let's not do that again. Look, sometimes when you're trying to do improv, sometimes you kind of yes and yourself into accidentally making a really weird out there joke. And there's two things you can do when you do that. You can either immediately bail, like I did, or you can ride that sucker into the sunset and see where it takes you. I tend to bail. Personally, I feel like that's just the better option for me. I feel like backtracking is in my blood. Not in video games, though. I actually don't like backtracking too much in video games. Ironically enough, one of my favorite video games is Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door, which does involve a lot of backtracking. Ain't life grand? Okay, I see what I did here. Okay. Okay, we'll hurry up and finish this design, though. You know, before I was like in 100% quality mode, this is now going to be like 100% sketch mode. You are now about to see the zenith of my ability to draw quickly and just not give a dang about anything. All right, we are on what. Usually, when I draw, right, I don't have an exact statistic for this, but I feel like it's kind of approaching. I mean, if someone's username can be fat cheeks, why can't I be soft breast milk? That's true. This is equality. You know, it's. Why did that get added? I mean, you said it yourself, right? Somebody's name is at fat cheeks on Twitch, which I might actually follow after this, because that's just objectively a really funny username. But what was I talking about? Right, the ratio. I feel like usually when I draw, I have like I draw one line and undo 3 times, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It just means that that's just kind of how I operate. That's kind of like my idea. You were talking about fat cheeks. I have an opportunity to make so many awful jokes right now, but I think I'm gonna just pass. I'm gonna let it die. I'm gonna let it die in dignity. With dignity, not indignity. Dying in dignity sounds like when that thing that happens when like somebody like unscrews their sword pommel and then just beats you to death with it. Oh, that's what I was talking about earlier. Right, okay. Yeah, something that kind of compounds my ability to remember just what in the gosh dang heck I was talking about is the fact that I really struggling today, huh? Listen, it's okay. I'm allowed to struggle. I am multitasking. I am thinking, I am talking, I am drawing. I am doing all three at once. I am allowed to fuck up a little bit on at least one of those. And Lord knows I can't fuck up on the drawing. This is my baby. Okay. Okay, then we're gonna give him like the little like 2-thumb salute. Yeah. What else did I read about today? Oh yeah. Alright, so how old were you when you discovered that one company on Earth manufactures like 90% of zippers? If you didn't know that, well then today's the day you learn about the YKK zipper company. Yeah, apparently like a good 70-80% of zippers on Earth are manufactured by the YKK company. Why the fuck would I know that? That's true. That's not actually common knowledge. I feel... the thing is, right? Sometimes I assume shit is common knowledge because I learned it at a very young age. Because when you're a expat living in a place that speaks English, you kind of tend to assume that whatever they teach you is like universal knowledge. Like, when I was in like 5th grade... No, it was way earlier than 5th grade, like 3rd grade, 4th grade. One of my professors was like, hey, kids, did you know that apparently that one company makes like 90% of zippers on Earth? Yeah, it's a YKK company. Look on your jacket. And lo and behold, when I looked on my jacket, there it was. The zipper, on a very small print, had a metallic thing that said YKK. And it's on a lot of zippers. If you look for it, you'll find it. And yeah, they Virtual Monopoly is a board game, but it's also a pretty good description of what they have. That hand is kind of fucked, but I'm gonna leave it like that. Well, yeah, like I said... Oh wait, no, I know exactly how to fix this, actually. Okay, top part here, drag that down. There we go. Instant fix, would you look at that. It's like when you said, didn't I tell you I went to boarding school? And I was like, huh? I mean, I did go to boarding school. That was very much... I did have a boarding school era in my life. Gotta say, not a fan of it. But yeah, well, I mean, that's personal knowledge, though. That's not like trivia like this. You know, the YKK thing is like... I wasn't like, oh yeah, everybody's been to boarding school a couple of years of their life, right? That's not a thing that happens. But the YKK company thing, I did assume that it was like, you know, like this like little secret that a lot of people were in on. But apparently that's not the case. Anyway, if you wanted your mind blown again today, I found out that apparently there is an equivalent of that in the food industry. And it is called the Joy Baking Company. Now these guys manufacture apparently like a lot of the ice cream cones in the US. Like a lot. I'm gonna give this guy the artist glove thing. There we go. That feels a lot better. The thumb felt a little short. Okay. Then other arm. Kind of same deal. Just kind of a little metal plate armor thing here. But yeah, the Joy Baking Group makes a lot of the ice cream cones on Earth. And I've learned that today, apparently, in the food industry, ice cream is considered what is called a cheap luxury. Which I hadn't really thought of, but makes perfect sense now that I think about it. Like, you know, you shouldn't eat ice cream every day. I mean, who am I to tell you how to live your life, obviously, but like, ideally, you really shouldn't eat ice cream every day. But if you want ice cream, you can just all I know is that there's no competition between brands because it's just like a handful of companies that own everything. That's not entirely true, but it's not true for every industry. There is absolutely like oligopolies going on, but some industries actually have some decent competition. Of course, that doesn't mean that like that's the case for most industries. Like most industries do operate exactly how you say. They do operate in an oligopoly, which is actually kind of which I was very disappointed at the tender age of 15 to learn was not in fact a society that is ruled by whoever can do the sickest kickflips. But yeah, it's not exactly a good thing, but it is kind of a fun thing to know. You know, hey, you know, almost all of the waffle cones in the U.S. are produced by this one company. Ain't that something? Hydrate, good call. Oh man, I needed that. Thank you. Okay, then over here, belt. How do your pants stay up? Belt. That's still one of my favorite vines, honestly. Man, I thought that letting your pants sag as a fashion trend had come and gone long ago now, but it's definitely still around. I saw some I'm either seeing a lot of like very disheveled dudes in my town, or for some reason pants hanging low is making a comeback, and honestly I'm not too fond of that. My pants stay up because I don't have any to let down. Yeah, that's always an option, right? Like who needs a belt if you don't wear pants to begin with? I mean, belt with no pants. That's a look. That is a very powerful thing to do. Belt but no pants. You know, not even necessarily wearing a dress, just like belt, no pants. I feel like you might be onto something there. If you pitch that to Vogue, honestly, see what happens. Pants are a human social construct. I mean, I'm wearing pants right now, and they feel pretty real to me. I don't feel like a social construct at all. I think they're like a blend or something, cotton, polyester. No, they wouldn't put polyester in pants, right? Polyester is like way too itchy for pants, unless like it was like specialty polyester pants or something. Some people you can make clothes out of the darndest things. I feel like we are like one additional lockdown away from somebody knitting cat hair, like a sweater entirely from the hair their cats shed. I had a teacher in high school who told kids that they would pants them if they see them walking around with saggy pants. Yeah. What always used to bother me, like, I had no issue with saggy pants. Maybe because my brother used to wear them a lot as well, so I was like, yeah, okay, that's just fashion. So I didn't really have an issue with them personally. What I did have beef with were harem pants. If you don't know what harem pants are, they are those pants that, like, if you have, like, a dude here, harem pants are like pants that like have the crotch like way down here, or like not even down there. Like that's actually quite respectable. Like if you have your your crotch all the way down here, what you're wearing isn't pants. It's just like not a skirt. You know, that's respectable. I can understand that. That looks comfy as fuck. I would wear that personally. On the other hand, if your pants to leg situation is like down here, like where it's just kind of like to your mid knee, you are my enemy. I have no respect for you. Get out of my home. That's a bit much, you know. I've softened on them a little bit in my time. They don't walk, they waddle. I mean, I don't know. Like, I have an oversized jumpsuit that I like to wear as lounge clothing. Little secret about myself. I told this to Leo, and he said that I'm basically fucking Michael Myers. I'm basically Michael Myers. I am not fucking Michael Myers. Look at my form. Bold, metallic, exposed for all to admire. Wait, no, hang on. I got the perfect voice filter for this. Look at my oops, hang on. Soft breast milk, thank you for the follow. Look at my form. Bold. Metallic. Exposed for all to admire. Look at yours. Covered by cloths. Knowing that nobody wishes to see your pathetic form. Who are you that would declare what is beauty? I'm not doing anything to Michael Myers. No! I regret bringing this up. Anyway, I wear... I wear a blue... It's also really bad because it is a dark blue jumpsuit like the one Michael Myers has. It's way too baggy though. I bought it like a few sizes too big. So it is a little baggy on me. But that's fine because it's actually more comfortable that way. Because I actually did buy another one after that one, which was like the appropriate size, and it's not nearly as comfortable, I will say. How are we for time? We're pretty good for time, actually. Hang on. Let me again just kind of blazing through this, and then we're gonna get to painting the robot. Okay, I kind of cinch this like that. There we go. Yeah, but yeah, ice cream though. Ice cream is apparently considered a cheap luxury, which makes sense. I think chocolate also falls into that category technically. In that it's like it's like something that's actually like surprisingly, if you think about it, the fact that you're eating chilled dairy to the point that it's almost frozen, but so creamy, soft, and delicious and sweet, it's actually kind of a miracle if you think about it. The fact that you can just go on down to your local grocery store and get yourself a pint of this stuff is amazing. For a reasonable price. Yeah, I also added one of those Muay Thai armbands to this guy. Yeah, if you didn't know, for some, I don't remember. I think it is just as a good luck charm, but apparently Muay Thai fighters, the traditionally trained kind, wear these kind of armbands and also a headband sometimes. I think the number of them that you have kind of indicates your mastery. Like if you're wearing two at once, you're supposed to be pretty hot shit. And considering that you're practicing Muay Thai, listen, you know what's delicious? Korean shaved ice. Oh, I'm so glad you said that. That's true though. Korean shaved ice is super tasty, especially when it's like made from milk. Milk shaved ice is super tasty. There were a couple of shaved milk ice places where I used to live. They had all kinds of crazy flavors. They were all really good. My friends and I used to go sometimes. Way too big servings though. Like the servings were just massive. Almost as big as my head, really. That's my rice bag head, by the way, not my physical meat space breaking kayfabe head. What were you thinking? Listen, I was so scared. You could have said literally anything for what's fun to eat, and that could have been from like, you could have just made like a silly joke, like saying eating dirt, or you could have gone all the way up to like eating like termites. I don't fucking know. My sense for what's weird to eat has really, really deteriorated. First of all, because I've never like, once I started cooking for myself, I've started being like particularly laissez-faire with what I consider edible ingredients. That makes it sound like I eat metal or something. That might not be the right description, but like, for example, like apparently it's weird that I stir-fry tuna before I eat it. So, I don't have a good reference point for what is and isn't weird. No, I didn't want you to say that. I thought you were gonna make a joke based on your new username. Listen, I've told you before, our relationship is that of like, I feel like sometimes like, from our interactions, I feel safe when I talk to Leo. Like, disclaimer, I feel safe when I talk to my buddy Soft Breast Milk. But at the same time, I do recognize that he can very easily and very brutally own me at a moment's notice. So our relationship is much like that of a child who has trapped a small insect inside of a jar and is now shaking it around at his leisure. I forgot what this design was supposed to look like. Right, okay. Okay, thumb tucked into the belt here. Here we go. Right, okay, focus. Okay, there we go. I just talk like this. Well, that's not a bad thing. Like I said, I enjoy talking to you. It's just that I also recognize that it has its liabilities. You are a fun, engaging, and funny person. However, I do know when I'm punching above my weight class. Being an expert at it, I understand when I am at risk of getting owned. And when you said, you know what's delicious, asked kind of like that open-ended question, I was just waiting for the other shoe to drop. Okay. And then, okay, this part right here was going to be kind of like this. Wearing a space-age cup. Okay. And a harness, because I love harnesses. I actually really like harnesses like this as part of like a character design. I feel like they're fun. I think it's because of when I was young, I was exposed to Just Cause 2, and the main character in that game. Well, no, I wasn't that young when I was exposed to Just Cause 2. I'm just a little guy. Yes, you are, but you have so much bastard inside of you. Again, you are my friend. I say this with as much love and care as I possibly can, but like, you have like. Some of the sickest burns that I've ever gotten have been from you. The funniest and sickest burns. Again, to clarify, I love talking to you. But again, I just recognize the liabilities. Anyway, I remember reading, or not reading, you don't read Just Cause 2. I played Just Cause 2 for a little bit. Eventually my computer couldn't handle it anymore and it just crapped out. But I do remember really liking that the main character had like this harness as part of his design. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Then from here, gonna have kind of taking cues from like World War I pilots, very kind of poofy pants, kind of cinched up near the calf. I feel like this kind of pants design has grown on me because I didn't really like it so much. Again, it's something that I've kind of grown into. Okay. Okay, then from there, some knee pads just in case. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I think the reason that like a lot of Lancer pilots have knee pads is because you're kind of expected to also repair your mech on the fly a little bit. So when that happens, it's very useful to just have knee pads because you're gonna be kind of like crouching. You're gonna be getting into all kinds of little nooks and crannies. It's just useful to have some, joint support if that's the case. Okay. Oh yeah. Here we go. And then on the side of the pants, I wanted to have those like cowboy tassel things, but like as clips like this. Probably for tools that would be useful. Okay, there we go. Yeah. I mean, the thing is, right, I kind of messed up big time making my martial artist character themed after a cowboy, because cowboys aren't generally... like, a cowboy can fight. This is not up for debate. All cowboy can fight. If you cannot fight, you simply may not be a cowboy. The cowboy lifestyle may not be for you. But generally speaking, like, cowboys are more associated with guns and such, not really with martial arts. So I kind of dropped the ball on there, but I think it's worked out decently enough. You know, it has its moments of having like its that kind of serendipity in design. Okay. Something about these legs is very awkward. I think like I might need to like move it like this. There we go. Yeah, that feels a little bit more natural. Okay. No, I think I'm just gonna have the gas tank maybe attached to the hip or something. Yeah, that'll do. Oh yeah, a little while ago I watched the Nitro Red review of this game about like I forget the name of the game, but I do remember that it had like a little demon girl as the protagonist, and it was like a 3D platformer. It looked very fun, actually. But one of the things that he noted in the game, which I actually found very interesting, was that even like the character has as one of their powers the ability to kind of shapeshift. And this is kind of expressed in game by the fact that when she does like a specific type of jump, she kind of shapeshifts into a different thing. So like, for example, if she does like a double jump, she shapeshifts into a bat, that kind of thing. And he noted that in something that I found very interesting, that was, even though the designs are like each object is very different, you can always consistently tell that it's her because of the way that the animation is made, it's made so that a part of her outfit always kind of how do I put this, like for example, the character has a purple hoodie, and when she turns into a bat, the bat is shaped like the hoodie and is purple. So it's very easy for your eyes to kind of follow along and kind of figure out, okay, yeah, so she turned into that. Like, there's never any kind of disconnect to it or anything. Actually, no. I might make these like full on kind of like astronaut pants. I think that might be interesting as well. Okay. Yeah, just big old friggin' DBC style boots. Step on my fucking toes with those fucking cowboys ass boots, bitch. Disgusting. I remember listening to that vine one time, and I kept getting blocked on YouTube for finding its results because it had literally so many swear words in it. What a life. It's a tough world out there. There we go. Yeah, this is a little bit of a cop-out as well, but I feel like it works well. Maybe if I, like... Hang on. Yeah, that'll do. I've got an idea for how to spruce these up a little. Not to mention, we're running a little short on time for the coloring, so... Yeah, I might as well spend less time on these stupid ass boots and then kind of spend more time on the actual mech, which is the meat and bones of the operation. Okay. Just drink more water. Okay. Okay, so the mech. Definitely gonna have yellow highlights. That's the one thing that I will insist on, because that's just kind of a toast believes I'm someone else. Well, that's what happens when you have like your identity. Well, that's what happens when you keep changing your name like that, dude. You reap what you sow. Oh, that's like too yellow, though. Or, on the other hand, I could just not be a coward about it. Not to mention, this guy is supposed to be loosely based on, like, older super robot design, so it would be good to have, like, a strong primary color attached to it. Those guys were all about primary colors. Okay, kind of like that. Where else would it be good to have this kind of highlight? Definitely in the knuckles somewhere. Yeah, I think the joints are gonna have the highlight as well. Kind of bright, this kind of bright yellow. Yeah, I find that coloring is easier. Gotta say, really proud of the samurai crest on the head. Totally not biased here. I mean, it's a pretty good thing. God, that reminds me of a joke that I actually set up. Completely unrelated to mechs or anything, but definitely related to the character here. So, in the kind of lore that I've been developing, part of what used to be the lore for him was that he was part of a group of like this weird martial arts group. This very kind of this very much a secret kind of secret society deal. Whose main kind of patriarch was this really stupid dude called Santana. Anyway, long story short, one of the kind of gags that I was thinking of doing was that like Santana was constantly trying to recruit this one person into the group, and he'd be like, "Come on, join the Martians, it's great," and like she would consistently be like, "No, dude, I don't want to join your cult of samurai perverts," and he's like, "Hey, first of all, we are not samurai, we are martial artists. Second of all, it's technically not my cult anymore." Some shit like that. God, that's a really funny joke. I should try to find a way to work that in there somewhere, but I don't know why I was so proud of it. Because maybe it is a really good joke. I don't know. Yeah, we're not. Hey, we are not We're not samurai perverts, but you are perverts. I think that was the other kind of half of it. Okay. Yeah, I think that's good. That's good for the highlights. Okay, so, and for the main body, I think kind of like a black color would be good. So especially on like this kind of on the parts that are supposed to be like the jacket and like the leggings. Like here. Black and yellow. Bees do so much for us in popularizing the black and yellow color scheme. Okay. There we go. But yeah, the little samurai crest on the top of the head is really good. You made a good call there. And I wonder what like samurai armor used to be made out of. Probably like copper or bronze or something. I mean, back then you couldn't really. I mean, maybe steel if you were like really high up there in the samurai hierarchy, But I can't imagine like that was like cheap back then. Okay, no, it's got to be like warmer than that. This is supposed to be like the inner furnace, right? I can add some additional shading for that if the need arises. Okay. Yeah, I mean, like, the Mazinger was mostly black with a few primary colors here and there, so it doesn't feel out of the question to have this kind of folk hero style robot have a lot of black on it. On the other hand, I don't know. I don't know what color I would use if not for black. Maybe white would be good. Who knows? Let's try it. Hang on. Select. Here we go. That would actually work pretty well as well, because the white might remind people of like martial arts uniforms. You know, like a karate gi. Which is 100% what I'm trying... Well, no, I'm not trying to go for a karate gi. I'm trying to go for a biker jacket, which is probably why I decided on black in the first place. But, you know, there are white biker jackets. There are white leather jackets around. Like that movie Drive that I've never seen. Okay. Okay. Yeah, things are coming together. That being said, I'm not sure where to take it from here. Red might be interesting. Blue as well would be good for a couple places, I think. God, baby's first model kit painting. Okay, no, that's not, that blue just does not sit right with me. What about like orange, like kind of like a brassy orange, like a deep brassy orange? Oh, that might be good. Hang on, I might have just did something right here. You know, to kind of retain some of that steampunk vibe. Kind of like a bluish chrome would be good, I think, as well. Like kind of like this dark blue. That's not really distinguishable from the background, though. Well, we'll figure it out, or we won't. Yeah, I mean, like the... Oh, hang on, I was on the wrong layer right here. Yeah, like the what do you call it? The exhaust pipe on the arm has to be chrome, right? It's literally not even a question. That's just how it's got to be. Oh, hang on, I missed a spot here. There we go. How are you for time? Yeah, we got time. We got time for this. Hang on. No, that doesn't seem right. I think like as brass fittings, it works a little better, this color. Yeah, because I like, but besides having the asymmetrical eye, the what do you call the IPSN ones mostly remind me of like old steampunk robots, which is really cool. Okay, yeah, maybe black for like these tube parts on the inside. Okay, kind of like that. Like for this part here too. Okay, so got a lot going on here. Maybe if I shift the color palette a little bit around, I'll figure out some stuff. Saw a mosquito. Okay. So definitely I'm feeling kind of leaning more towards orange. I mean, okay, so yellow, we have two tertiary colors. We got purple and we got... Okay, so a complementary color of this is kind of like this kind of violet or like bluish color. So I think we're going to have to figure out a way to incorporate that as well. So I'm thinking... No. Okay, I think red is going to have to be the one. Or like... Oh, this kind of deep, rusty red is also really good, actually. Hang on. we can adjust the color of it a little bit, but it's kind of like a good value. It's like a good contrast to the yellow. All right, we can do this. Well, I got this. Hang on. Yeah, maybe bump up the saturation and. Okay, so maybe messing around with the luminosity is the key. Here we go. I gotta finish the laundry. I'll catch you later. Yeah, thanks for coming by, Soft Breast Milk. Alright. Okay, yeah, this kind of like very deep red is actually... I'm a big fan of it. Okay. Yeah, here we go. Okay, this is how I do this. This is how I win. This is who I am. Okay. And yeah, the white plating will also probably extend to this part right here. But the red will be for like the inside bits like this here. Oh, today I am a genius. Yes. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Actually, with the yellow and the red, now it reminds me a little bit of a V2 from Ultra Kill. Okay. Okay, then from there, we can probably make the joints right here this kind of brassy metal as well. I'll play around a little bit with like the color values here and there, but I think so far we've got a pretty strong color palette going on. I just need to I just gotta work it until I figure out how to avoid making him look like a misplaced ads from McDonald's. So it's gonna be tough, but I believe in myself. Yeah, I do feel like we're missing some like cool tones here, but that's sometimes how you gotta roll. Actually, no, I'll leave that kind of chrome plated. This part here can be white as well. Okay, kind of like that, and then like this right here too. This part here would also be kind of like this red. Okay, now I'm starting to figure this out a little. Piece by piece, I'm putting it together. Yeah, because the thing is, right? These like metal, the white metal parts are supposed to be the Tiger Hunter combat sheath. So that works if it looks like it's kind of keeping the underbelly of it, the underside of it in one consistent color helps a lot, because then that makes it make more sense in that way. Okay. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Okay, then this part here will have this part be white. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay. We can make the chrome... We can use the chrome for the tube as well here. Well, no, that wouldn't make any sense. That would have to be black, I guess. No, that doesn't look right either. Maybe... No, white is also no good. Maybe this can be the blue part. Maybe this can be like the cool tone that we need. That's a very bad shade of blue for that. Let's see. It can't be too green. Okay, we're getting somewhere, we're getting somewhere. Okay, we can fix that later with like color correction. We'll figure it out as we go. Okay, then here we can use this. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Right here too. Oh, actually, hang on. This whole yellow bit here might actually be really good. Hang on, that worked out in my favor. Okay, then over here. Then this part here. What color should this part be? Probably red. Okay, not bad, not bad, not bad. This part will be chrome, this part will be chrome. This part right here needs to be filled in with this. Okay, and this part here can also be with the gold plating. Oh no, this isn't gold plated, it's just yellow metal. I imagine even in a post-scarcity utopia, quote-unquote utopia, post-scarcity quote-unquote utopia, gold is still kind of an exuberant metal to make stuff out of. Like your hot shit, like even in, I feel like even in 2444, if you have stuff made out of gold, people will think you're kind of like an overspending asshole. Nobody needs anything made out of gold except maybe for some electronics, you know? It's one of those things that's like, it's just unnecessary, in my opinion. Now, spray painted yellow metal, on the other hand, that we can have as much of as we want. Okay, this is a good kind of chrome color. Let's go with this. Yeah, I feel like it's got its colors that are a little too cheery, though. Like that's also the thing. Oh. Yeah, the blue wasn't really working for me, I think. Yeah. We can do this for the belt also. Okay, now let's try and color transform this and see what we get. Ooh. Okay. Okay, interesting, interesting. Hang on, hang on, hang on. Okay, I feel it. We're like in the vicinity of perfection with this one. I can change it back to the kind of yellow color palette, but like, you know how like some people used to find water using like dowsing rods? That's how I feel sometimes with this. Like I feel like I need to like get a tingle down my neck and telling me like, yes, this is the one. But getting there can be a little bit of a problem. Okay, I think this is it. Then we go over and paint this with yellow. Hang on. Over here, yeah, like way over here. I swear to God, if somebody calls this a Laker, like, I think this is the same color scheme that a basketball team has. So if somebody makes a joke about this being like the Lakers robot, I think it is the Lakers that have the kind of yellow and purple color scheme. I might get really mad. The chrome as well, I feel could be closer to blue. Although, given the saturation that I gave it, it's not really too much of a problem. The purple as well. Yeah, the one it kind of gets like this, right? Like once you start changing one thing, you start changing everything. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's like it's more free. Ooh, hang on. Oh, hello. I might have just did something in here. Okay, a little bit closer to blue. Okay, yeah. I like it. I think that's pretty good, actually. Hang on. I also need to change this back to kind of like a reddish one. But yeah, this is pretty good. I actually really like this color scheme. That being said, we are gonna throw it under a what do you call a gradient map just in case. I don't know. What about... Okay, let's try this. Ooh, that's strong. That's really strong. Okay. Interesting, interesting. I actually kind of like this color palette, but this is very much kind of like an art style thing. This is not what the actual color... Like, when you try to make a reference like this, you gotta try and make it as close to like what it would look like under like pure white light as possible. Which is why I'm trying to find the kind of like color combination that would reflect that. Okay, I think this is the closest is how it's gonna go. May bump up the what do you call the yellows a little bit though. Hang on. No, that's a little too much. Hang on, I got an idea for how to do this. Soft. Wait, no, hard. Brush density. Where's the opacity setting for this? Hang on. It should be somewhere around here, the opacity setting. Oh, here we go. Okay, we lower the opacity on the big eraser. Make it real big. It kind of looked better faded like this. I don't know. Maybe if I bump up the saturation just a little bit. No. Then it becomes like purple again. Gut instinct says leave it as is. I might also change the, hang on, no. I think what's bothering me is the kind of like white armor. I need to make that like a slightly different color. There we go. Okay, this is it. This is the one. Such a nice paint job, actually. I quite like how it turned out. Okay. So then, some simple shading, and then we can call it a day, I think. No, it'll kind of go like this. I do kind of want this to look like a plastic toy, because I feel like that kind of reflects Roland's personality pretty good. Because again, he's supposed to kind of like want himself to have this kind of folk hero vibe, and because of that, he doesn't mind if it looks a little like if his mech looks a little bit like a Transformers toy. Yeah. Because I feel like if you between like seeing a dude, it's not only the fact that he's piloting a Zheng, which is a kind of already kind of associated with a folk hero kind of thing. It's also that he is kind of painting it in these kind of like bright primary colors. I think because he really does want people to feel safe. Like his heart is 100% into the mission of making into making space a better place, I think. Okay, so where would be the light source on this? I think like from over here, right? So I think that would mean like it would go like this. Okay. There we go. Okay, then we can shade this whole section over here. Probably like a little gap right here for the light to come through. Okay, then over here. Yeah, I feel like I'm incapable of designing a mech that doesn't look a little bit like this, because not because I don't like, it's just my own sensibilities, you know. Like if I was making it for somebody else, I wouldn't have a problem making it look like a Batman mech, so to speak. But because I like bright, colorful things, I think this is just kind of the kind of mech that I design by nature. Okay, and then over here, like that. Come on, bud. Where? Oh, up here. What? Why? Oh. Oh my goodness. I missed that entire little spot right there, I tell you. Yeah, some days are better than others. I like to think this has been a good day, you know? I feel pretty good about the progress we've made today. Okay. Then right around here, we'll kind of do some shading for this. Then over here as well. Perfect. Okay, then we just kind of keep going like that, I think. Shading for me is, unless I'm like doing a particularly dynamic piece, I think it's kind of a very kind of a automated process for me. It's kind of like a low brain activity kind of thing, which is perfect because it kind of comes at the end of the whole process. Yeah. Again, something that 3D references have been really helpful for is just figuring out, again, just kind of where to shade even more automatically than before. Which doesn't sound good, but as a creator, you also need to worry about your own kind of ability to be efficient. So I don't feel like it's a particularly bad thing to do. I ain't doing nothing wrong. Okay. And yeah, I really like how this color scheme came out. I'm a big fan of it. Okay, then over here as well. No, the light would actually stretch a little bit farther than that if it was like a thinner piece, wouldn't it? Okay. I don't know about that part, but it is what it is. Okay, there we go. Okay, then kind of like this. There we go, here we go, here we go. Okay. There we go. Okay, I think that's all, most of the blue part's done. So now all that's left is the yellow trim. No, that's too much. That's like too aggressive of a color. Going back to this, just like this. I have to learn to trust my instincts sometimes. You know? I mean, it's a universal experience, right? That you have like a multiple choice question thing. And you like go like, I feel like this is the right answer, but maybe because it's the right, I thought it was the right answer at first. It's a trick question, and maybe it's this one instead, and like you kind of like convolute yourself, and then you get your test back, and it's like, oh no, you were right the first time. That is the worst feeling. The fact that trick questions can exist on an exam, I think, is such a dick move. Because like in real life, and I hate to be one of those guys like, oh yeah, you're not going to use it in real life, why bother learning it? I'm not one of those people. I think learning for learning's sake is also very powerful. I think it's a very good thing to do. It's a good thing to put into our children. It's a good thing to like instill in our children that even if you don't have a reason to learn something, you should still try and learn it. Not even because it's impossible, but because it's just a good thing it's a good thing to never stop learning. However, because of the existence of trick questions, I feel like kids often feel like they're like being like deliberately tricked. You know, like you've already been through so much bullshit just trying to learn this stuff the regular way, and now you're telling me that people will try to fool you on purpose with these odious things. Like what kind of arrangement is that? What kind of grift is this? I have strong feelings about that. No, I actually had a pretty pleasant experience with my own little isolated educational system, for the most part. But, like, there are problems with it, like, in general. There's no good way to learn is the thing. Like, you have your own learning style, sure, but, like, unless you have whole lot of support, there's just no good way to standardize learning. There's no, like, one-size-fits-all solution, and that's kind of a big problem behind. That's kind of like what I think drives a lot of the issues with it. Yeah, I mean, everybody does their best, I think. You know, like, that's something that my dad said once, that, like, that has stuck with me. That nobody gets up in the morning and thinks, today I'm going to do my worst. Unless they're like really hateful assholes. But even then, like, they are trying their best to be a hateful asshole, so you can't really call them lazy. Okay, we can do this kind of thing for a couple of these other other areas too. Actually, those are the only two areas that really need it. Maybe this part here could also use a little. Hang on. Okay, then. Okay, yeah, hard eraser, opacity maximum. Size, much smaller than that. There we go. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, cool. Now we just, all we gotta do is pimp out the chrome a little bit and we'll be complete with this. We'll be done. Alright, select, color gamut, this thing. Ooh, that was the wrong layer. Alright, try that again, select, color gamut, this thing here, perfect. Second time's the charm, I've always said that. Huh, actually this might work. Hang on. Alright, okay, this is a nice and easy way to kind of shade the chrome parts. Okay. Like this. Here we go. Then over here, we'll use the millipen. No, that doesn't look right. I think going with this brush as well over here, at least for like these kind of like wide angle areas, might be good. And then we can use the millipen for emphasis. Okay, there we go. That looks decent. You know, that looks kind of like chrome. Okay, yeah, no. I think what's holding me back here is the fact that I am using the millipen. You know, that'll work pretty well for like the kind of like roundish pegs on the belt here, but for this part we need something with a more varied line width approach. A touch more control would not be out of the question. There we go. And then a little bit of a couple dark touches here and there for these parts here, for example. Or for this part here as well. There we go. Okay, that looks a lot better. We can also take a quick opportunity to adjust the coloring on this bit here. You know, just to keep it consistent. We'll do it for this part here too. Okay. Pain endless, we move onward. No, our pain isn't really endless. My pain is actually pretty good right now. Yeah, on a scale of 1 to 10, I would say my pain is sitting at around a solid like. Actually, no. The normal amount of pain to be in is 0, so it's not good if you're like sitting at a solid like 2 even. Like that's not what it's supposed to be like, from what I hear. You know, emotional anguish, sure, that's there, but like. That's not exactly pain. That's more like a hollowness inside of you. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like any amount of pain that you feel, like, unless you're kind of getting up there in years, you should not be feeling like pain regularly. Or like if you have like an actual injury that's been like haunting you for a while, unless you have either of those two things, broadly speaking, it's not normal to have pain. So yeah, go see a doctor if that's the case. Okay, then right here. Not to say that my medical advice should be trusted, but I do recommend it. You know? Quick disclaimer, I am not in fact a doctor. I don't know what gave you that idea. I feel like if it was still the 1800s, back when you could just lie about being a doctor, people would still not believe me. I don't know. I feel like I have an aura that is both friendly, but also because I tend to like over-explain. I don't know why, but I have a poor tendency to kind of over-justify my actions. I don't. Like, if I do something that I feel like is like, if I'm doing something for myself, I feel like I need to have at least like 5 or 6 explanations prepared in case somebody questions me on it, and nobody ever questions me on it, which makes me think that like I was just worrying about nothing in the first place, which I probably was. I don't know. We all have our little neuroses like that, I think, though. Okay, and then over here too. Cool. Then next up, I actually need to shade this part here as well. Okay, like that. then all we have to do is also... Hang on. Didn't I shade this part already? I guess I must have missed a spot. Oh no, I must be thinking of this part right in here. Silly me. Okay, then over here. Here we go. Okay, now we can reselect the kind of chrome parts here. And we should be on pretty good track to finish this on good time. Yeah. Again, it's not that I want to end these streams soon, it's that I feel like my quality as an entertainer quickly diminishes past the 3-hour mark. I mean, that's kind of part of... Besides starting a full-time job and just kind of minding my own health, that's kind of also the reason why I've started keeping the streams at around, like, capping them at around 2.5 hours, 3 hours-ish. It's more of a logistical thing than a, an emotional thing. Something the spirit is willing, but the funny man is weak. Okay, then over here... Yeah, the thing is, as well, I have a hard time making things look like weathered. If that makes sense. Like a lot of the Lancer mechs, a reason that I really respect Abaddon, the guy who made who was one of the main artists for this game, the reason I respect him so much, or they, I'm not sure exactly what their gender is. I'm pretty sure he's a guy, but whatever. One of the reasons that I respect them so much is that they have a really good way of making things look worn without making them look like damaged, if that makes sense. Like if you read like Kill 6 Billion Demons, you'll like see that what I mean, because a lot of the characters on that have like equipment that looks like it's seen some use over the years, but it never looks damaged. Like it always looks like it's in working condition, which is absurdly impressive as someone who doesn't really know how to do that. Okay, then going to the Jeep pen over here to kind of fill in these parts here and there. Perfect. Then over here too. And then over here as well. Perfect. Okay. Chrome is kind of fun to paint because, especially if you've got like things that are very clearly surrounding it, you can kind of go ham with the kind of like light blobs on them. All right, cool. I think that's done. I think this is finished. All right, I'm very happy with how this turned out, honestly. I wasn't sure how my first foray at making a mech would go, but I like how this came out. I think this is a cool little customized Zheng. I think it's got it's I think like, especially because of the DD288, but also I think like it doesn't have the vibe of a Zheng, but I think it still kind of captures it a little bit. I think even though it doesn't have the vibe, it still kind of has the spirit to some extent. In any case, I'm happy that I try to do this. I think like stepping out of your comfort zone like this every once in a while is just really good for you. Yeah, I still don't have a whole ton of experience drawing mechs. I'm hoping to rectify that because they're kind of, as I've discovered, they're really fun to design. It's kind of that moment, right, when things click together that it becomes a lot of fun. It's like, I don't know how to put it. Like, it's that eureka moment when you're finally like, okay, yeah, now I know how to do this. I think that happens for me like usually around 3 times. On my 3rd time drawing something specific is when it occurs to me. You know, that moment where you're like, okay, I actually kind of understand the subject now. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing to have happen, and it's like one of the small euphorias you get as an artist. You know, besides the regular dopamine rush of being able to complete a piece. Highly underrated, that one. I don't use it nearly enough, but yeah, I think we did good. I think I do good work here. All right. Yeah, I don't really have anything much else to say. If I can just warp myself back to the just chatting screen. Yeah, on Thursday, we are finishing off Doom 2016. Saturday, we are doing an art study. I'm going to try and draw some food. Hopefully it'll look very tasty. That remains to be seen. And, oh, right, also on Saturday, I highly recommend that on Saturday you go check out Catastrophe Jupiter's model reveal. She's a buddy of mine. She's a very cool. She plays a lot of Xbox games, kind of old retro games, and I highly recommend her channel. Have a good week. Stay strong. It's only Tuesday. We've got a bit left to go, but we're almost halfway there. And have a great rest of your day, and I will see you all later. Oh, also, we're rating my buddy JB. He seems to be playing Genshin Impact. I've never played that game. It seems to be very popular, though. Alright, catch you all later. Bye.